trace. But like if I'm on that menu at the end of the day, or if I go to the tab menu for this, everything around me is still happening. It doesn't stop. The only time it ever stops is if I go to the escape menu. This is the only time it actually pauses the game. Which I didn't know that the first time I played, and it was a bit weird. It's like, oh no, you guys are still doing stuff. That probably is misleading with the way that sounded, but what are you doing over there? Okay. Did you send a heart thing? You didn't have to do that. Stop that. Oh, don't spend your coins on me. Oh, I need to pay bills. Whoops. That's nice. I appreciate it. Thank you. But also, what team? I has a team now? I don't need a team. That'd be bad. Heck. Sorry, I'm all sniffly. Trying not to do it like directly by the microphone, even though the microphone's right in front of my face, because I don't know how to broadcast anything. Yes, what's you want? Oh, I don't have that card. Go away. Ah, that was itchy. Okay, how much is it for? Oh, 4. Yeah, I don't have money for the card table. I would be happy to, but I cannot. Excuse you, sir. Yeah, give me much to work with there, bud. I'll buy it off you for 15 cents and then go away if you don't want to take the deal. You're trying to overcharge me for a card that's not worth it. I mean, I did spray him, but he didn't have to like toss everything onto the counter like that. Bit rude. Bit rude. They don't enjoy it. Usually swat at the thing. So you'll see this whenever I get to the air freshener parts, the auto sprayers. People just kind of swat at it because they're not thrilled about the fact that they got sprayed, because it is very much a comment on their own cleanliness in that they're not doing it. There are some mood things, and it's more like, have they had to be around stinky people? Have they had to wait in line for a long period of time? Stuff like that. There are things like that in the game. Put you there. Figure it here in a second. But like, I haven't encountered too many like overall things. I think that if someone's been made to wait for a while, they're less likely to be receptive if they're wanting to trade cards. So like when someone comes up to want to sell me or trade me a card, if they've been waiting for long, they might get more, or might be less agreeable to me trying to undersell them. It is the 1000% of them problem, but they make it my problem when they come into my store. This is why I need this table, so I could sell cards. 'Cause they have some value to them. Not all. There's a lot of cards that actually have no, well, no value is harsh, but little value. But I've been fortunate enough to have a few that do. Enough to make up some money, which is what I need. There does get to a point where you get to hire people, and it does make it easier to manage the rest of the store, because then I'm not having to do everything. And interestingly enough, they do have varying degrees of how helpful the people are. 580. Boom, boom. So like there are some people that are not the best, and others that are fine. Obviously the ones that perform better cost more. Shocker. Usually I try to get through those as best I can. I need to buy some stuff. I'm sorry. All the streams for you to join, this probably wasn't the ideal one. 25. Yeah. No, the nice thing is that after a bit, you do get to a point where and hopefully you'll get to see that before I end stream tonight. I think I goofed on this a little bit. It's fine. But hopefully you get to see some of the people you get to choose from when it comes to hiring staff. That's what I was trying to say. I goofed because I didn't mean to buy Oops All air fresheners, even though I kind of needed it. How many is that? 341. Okay. 5. 11. Here's the real question. How much of this, in the way of me giving out change, is driving you nuts? Because I'll be honest, it kind of messed with me a bit the first time I played one of these games. Well, yeah. So this game, because they also have 50-cent coins, the game at the time when the first one came out, the penny wasn't being discontinued. Not to get overly political, but yeah. There was a sign I saw. That's what you do at a gas station just the other day about them saying that, hey, because of the shortage of pennies, we're just going to round your total down to the nearest nickel. Which that makes sense. It's about all a business can do, I would imagine. Funnily enough, though, funnily enough, though, when I set my prices, intentionally go to the nearest quarter below what the market value is, because when I first started playing these games, messing with pennies or really anything aside from a quarter was a nightmare. I didn't want to do it. So like Market value on this bad boy is 290. I'd round it down to 275. Because it's less of a headache for me, but then I go and sell cards, which I do right at market value, so it's all null and void. It doesn't matter. But in this game, it's fine. It's not that bad. Supermarket Simulator was a bit more of a nightmare with it, so that's why I did start doing that. Excuse me. You got 230. Nice. Yeah, for a lot of my products, you'll see that's just me trying to get rid of it for rounding it. But then I go and keep putting cards out because it attracts more people. That way I can make money faster. On one of my previous save files, there's a there were two cards I got pretty not that far apart in terms of like the time of me purchasing them, that were sold to me by customers, cool. I guess everybody's leaving. Oh yeah, which that's actually not that far off from like real life. There are cards that are worth ridiculous amounts of money. What I was about to say, actually, there were two cards individually that were worth thousands of dollars, just as they were, not graded. But one of the mechanics of the game is you can get cards graded if you think that it's worth the money to do. So I sent them off because they were already. When I bought them, they were about 2,000 a piece. Each one came back like into like 13 to 16,000 after they got graded and verified, which is awesome because it means like cool. If someone buys it, that's a good chunk of money coming into the store. The problem is, because I was not a very high level of store at the time, nobody wanted to buy them. So they just sat there on my display table for ages until more recently I finally sold like one of them. Nice. I have an app that I use to catalog all my Magic cards, because that's my game of choice. Sorry, I don't get that one, but it's always nice. I'm not proud of how much my collection's worth. Because it tells me how much money I've spent on, well, not necessarily true, but it's kind of a signal of how much, a little bit of an indicator of how much I've put into the game over the years. Putting in the day there.